Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another day with Galen. It is a Thursday morning, and we are back at the castle. Just making sure everything's hot. Okay, so today's plan, I guess we'll just get right to it. So welcome on in. Hello, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Hopefully all is good with you this morning. I am a little bit on the sleepy bus today because I stayed up stupid late last night. It's my own darn fault. Didn't like the spruce that I had going last night, and so I switched it all to birch. Yes, that looks annoyingly the same as everything else. We've got a big brown thing going on, but that's actually intentional. You've seen the reference pictures, and what I'm actually going to do with this when we're done is we're going to have tree leaves around, like little bushes in different places, and anywhere that's not actually intended to be a path is going to actually get carpeted, preferably with moss blocks. Not moss blocks, sorry, moss carpets. So that's the plan, and we'll see if that works out well or not. But this house is tall, and unfortunately too tall. I was taking a quick look at my reference picture, and yeah, it's not crazy too tall, it's only a little bit. And I also need some more windows in here. Apparently they had a lot more windows in that thing than I had originally anticipated. So I'm just going to put in extra windows and take it down by a couple. Oh, and we have villagers that path their way in here. A few of them have pathed their way out again, but I'm not surprised that they have ended up on the roof as well, because the roof is not complete, simply because I wasn't happy with it. We also have golems that have spawned but can't get out. So, we got to take care of those as well, but I'm not going to worry about it until I get the building shorter. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to take this level down by 1, make it a little bit tighter, and then up top we're going to take it down by 2, I think. Oh, you're in the wrong place. So we're going to make it 1, 2.5, so probably about here. We're going to take it down by 2 whole rows, and this one will actually sit probably down there. It's only going to look like a little bit down, but I'm actually going to put in another floor and so on. Yes, I know. Stairs were dumb because then I can get up to the roof even easier, but so can villagers. That was something I'd forgotten about, but that's okay. Mistakes were made, right? Isn't that how it goes? Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is, because I'm going to see if I have any more spruce slabs, which will save me the trouble of chopping out the other ones first. But if I don't, then we'll chop out the floor, replace the floor, then move up and do it again. I have some, so I can start. That's fine. That'll do. I have more oak slabs than I need, but that's okay too. Alright, oh right, that's my inventory. Silly me.
Oh, hello there!
Good morning, Tiz. How are you this morning? Good to see you. What have you been up to lately? I haven't had a chance to say hello. I've seen you around in a couple of streams, but not had a chance to actually wish you a good day very frequently. There we go. What? Come on. Thank you. The game is being frustrating. Part of today's plan is to move the villagers around. So they're shuffling nice and slow. You can see in the corner I've got good FPS, but these guys are just a royal goofball set. I think one of the things we're going to do is take this one back down. Start with 10, see if that will get me anything better. Now I think the sim distance is actually set to 6 on the server. I have to confirm that with someone, but I haven't had a chance. We're going to see if cutting our distance down makes a whole lot of difference. I don't really care how fast these guys go. It's more that when everything goes slow, then even though I can see the raid farm, not raid farm, sorry, the iron farm, it's not doing anything. One of the other things I keep meaning to do and have forgotten is to actually, sorry, 1, 2.5, right? Yes. Is to actually go through and, wow. But that train left the station awful fast. Never mind. If I figure it out again, I'll let you know. But some days words are hard. I know when I'm tired, words are hard, but I'm not even sure why that left the station as fast as it did. 3, 4, 5. Up. You. This could be an interesting morning if we're dealing with lag all morning. One there. One there. Right. Trying to build a large circuit set. Ooh, that sounds really exciting. That does. What's the inspiration behind the large circus tent idea? I'm curious. I quite like it. Yes, I guess that Fantastic Sherlock Fox makes a good point. As odd as it would seem, yeah, we probably should ask whether or not it would be in Minecraft or in real life. But you're right, you said Minecraft already. So that brings me back to my earlier question about inspiration. Just the inspiration to build a large circus tent. I like the idea. Keep on going with what we've got so that we can see if we can catch the guy from upstairs before I have to have him drop down. Isn't that, like, they don't get mad when you do that, but not ideal. One of the things that derailed me last night, I mean, I had a bunch of stuff. It's one of those, oh, hey, I'll do this while I'm here. Yeah. Anyways, one of the things that derailed me last night was I was doing more research-ish into inspiration material for this season's build on the Cadfael front. And I'm spelling it or saying it wrong. It should be Cadvel, as in Kadvel. And I'm still not saying it correctly. I should probably actually ask a Welsh speaker. But if anybody knows one, let me know. In any case, I was doing some more digging and came across the website for the film studio in Hungary where the Cadfael TV series was filmed. And pretty interesting actually, because it was just neat to see. Oh boy, I think I just had a realization about why I couldn't place blocks and the golem just keeps inconveniently moving. It's because the space is going to be too short for him, which will be convenient to get rid of him, but yeah, not great. Anyway, so I came across that website, which is really interesting, and it's been used for a lot of stuff, including a Robin Hood TV series in the years in between, which is pretty cool. But it also reminded me that they only show a wooden castle, or wooden... Actually, it's more wooden walls for the town, so it's... I can't even recall what the castle's made out of. But they only show that in the first season of the series, and then after that, they the people who filmed the series switched to stone walls for the town. Convenient and all that jazz. But for our purposes, I'm a little out of time as an incorrect period. On the other hand, you don't see a whole lot of Mott and Bailey castles in Minecraft. It's just not something most people make. So I'm going to go with it anyways. Also acknowledging that I'm sort of making it up. It's a fantasy one because in that the sorry sir, I'm pretty sure you can't come get me, so we're just going to say goodbye. Oh, not in front of the villager. You don't have fire spread. Let's quit when it's on fire. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, we're gonna stick with what we've got. But truthfully, it should probably be in a completely different style. And I probably should have done a stone castle. Particularly since the town is going to end up with wood walls. I think. I'm debating between wood walls or stone walls for, well, partly for convenience purposes, but partly for aesthetic purposes related to the part of the series I enjoyed most. I think I'll probably go stone walls around the city later, but yeah, it wasn't quite what I had originally thought about. Wow, lag. The timer on the side isn't too bad. It still looks like you're getting progression through the day all right, but the actual movement of the world is pokey. We have, oh, okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Only 10 on this morning. That's not too bad. We've had 27, but I mean, they didn't have a whole ton of villagers and stuff running around. Please die. Please, please, please die. What? You came in, he's on fire, not my problem. Had an oopsie. Fine.
Hello there.
Good morning, Firepower. Or good afternoon, yes. I guess it would be 2:15, I believe, your time. Uh-oh. Oops. Oops, you didn't see that. We don't have fire spread on, so I can do that inside a wood building. Problematic if I couldn't. Wrong stairs for that. But that's okay. It'll do for now. And just afternoon. Oh, just afternoon. Okay. So yeah, you're east. My brain was thinking way far ahead for some reason. So, make you a little more fired. I'm lowering the roof of this house, and I don't really want the golems anyways, so it's okay that I'm dropping buckets of hot stuff on them. Yeah, I was just saying that I've done a bit more homework on my research into the characters and places and so on of the filming portion of where my Cadfael series had been filmed. Came across the studio website in Hungary, which was kind of cool to be able to see the backlot photos of the current state of the relatively current state of the medieval area that they've got. It's just a neat piece. So it gives me some ideas for decorative elements and so forth, but it doesn't really affect a whole lot. And this place needs to go up. This is going to be the hall. It's going to be small. I mean, early medieval and stuff like that. You don't build big. Pieces are large logs and so forth, and were expensive, as were the walls. I mean, technically, I probably should have made them out of cobble, but I didn't like the look. So yeah, it's just inspired by, right? We're going by inspired and loose. So Firepower, how have you been lately? I haven't had a whole lot of chance to pop into your streams. It seems of late a lot of my favorite streamers are on all at the same time, and I can only understand things in so many multi-part channels at once. Fort's looking good. I like it. It's funny that you'd call that a fort, because that's what most people are calling it right now. The intent is supposed to be a a Mott and Bailey castle. So you're not wrong. Inside, can't really see it from here, but barely can see the glass in the back. But inside between those two towers, I have, standing in for a keep, I have a Java iron farm. So we've got basically the 7x7, I believe, iron farm. And then the golems are doing their thing in there. It's nice and slow though, because everything else around here is incredibly pokey right now. Our server has pretty good RAM. It should be trucking along. It's just when we end up with, you know, a dozen people on, all doing things, and some of them are actually quite a lot into the redstone and so forth. Yeah, you've had a bit of a crazy new year. Do you have neighbors yet? For those that hadn't heard, Firepower had moved, and moved at quite a high pace, as in like pack and go kind of deal. So it's been a little bit wackadoodle for his family. And oh, come on. There we go. So yeah, I can imagine the pace is slowing down a little bit, and that you're probably getting back to work as well. 2 roses. Ooh, nice. We have 2 neighbors now. The second one just moved in yesterday, and we had a chance to go meet her. Are they like literally next door neighbors, or are they just neighbors on your block sort of deal? And it sounded, if I heard correctly, it sounded like you said you had a new house build, so a new build in the neighborhood, which is quite nice to be able to move that quickly. Ours was fairly new as well. Yeah. So when we moved into this house, it was a spec home. Cool. Yeah, that's great to hear. Okay, I keep going up and down thinking, this looks nice, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I need more windows. Okay. So being halfway? Yes. Ours was new as well. Ours was built as a spec home, where, you know, the builders would, in theory, would build it on speculation. However, ours was also designed at the time to be the, what do you call it? One of the upgraded demo homes. And so we actually had probably, I think we had about 30 days to move, which was not the first time we've had that happen. So yeah, it was a bit of a rush, but I mean, it was kind of, it was a bit of an adventure, I guess, to get ourselves going that quickly. 2, 3, 6, I made it. Excellent. I didn't know this house would be the right dimensions, and it turned out to be. So I'm scoring on that front. But yeah, we got to move in quite quickly, and it was funny because when we went to see the house, it was still literally under construction. So we walked in, and we got to look around, and they had the cabinets in, but no countertops. We got to see all the tile and the flooring and the carpet, and they were close to being done. And then we went and saw a few other houses that day, and when we came back in, or like we decided, oh, we wanted to see this, the one that we eventually bought, we wanted to see it again. So we checked the realtor checked, and yeah, sure, that was fine. So we came back, and wouldn't you know it, the granite countertop people had their truck in the driveway, and they were just pulling a big sheet of granite out of the back of the truck. And they saw us coming in to view the house again, and they said, well, do you like this color? And we did, so that worked out really well for us. It's chaos, though. You're right. It's total chaos when that happens. Like the fact that you get to move in quickly. And particularly when you've got a younger kid than, like, we didn't have any kids at the time. And you had someone going with, like, I apologize, I can't remember what you tend to call them online. But anyways, you had someone young going with you. So that's always a challenge, too, because there's the explaining about moving, explaining about the exciting new house, helping them not be scared of change, as well as, you know, a way of trying to balance getting everything packed with them under feet at the same time as trying to find ways to make them an active participant in the whole process. So yeah, it's totally not easy. Chat froze briefly. I'm not surprised. Fantastic Sherlock Fox, is it the usual chat froze for you thing that you've been having problems with, or is it something different? For just a quick follow-on yesterday, I was wearing pink shirt. That, I know it sounds like a weird segue, but I was just remembering. And that's because yesterday in Canada we had Pink Shirt Day in celebration of anti-bullying and spreading kindness and all that sort of stuff. And just a quick follow-on to that was I was curious at one point if it was a provincial thing, because you don't get a whole lot of advertising about it nationally. And it turned out, nope, it was a national thing. I was popped into This Is Lammy Pie later in the evening. And she said, oh yeah, no, it's celebrated there too. She's just not usually tuned into the school system because her child is quite young, as I understand. And so it was a thing there as well. So that was good to hear, just informationally, that it's growing. And I'm not totally insane for supporting it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. And there's no point in having doors out the back because that's just actually the backpack. 75 degrees at the lakes. Okay. Luckily tomorrow is going to be much cooler. It's semi-miserable today. Yeah, I guess where you are, you get cold fire, I'm assuming because it's partly because it's so moist. Okay, so let's see what I want another floor in here, so let's get that going. 1, 2.5. And then I can bring that roof down. It doesn't have to be functional near the walls up top. That's too much. I'm in a prairie province, so we get deep, deep cold dry. But unfortunately, that doesn't help either, because since the cold doesn't seem to sink in like it does with moisture and make you feel cold, it's actually kind of dangerous. People aren't always dressed well for it because of the way it's dry, and then also it can dry your face out very clearly. 75 for February is very odd. Yeah, we have really warm temperatures as well. I'd used the term in streams and people don't always understand, but we get what's called Chinooks here, which is warm weather that's like, it's warm winds. It's like spring without being spring.
Oh, hello there.
I'm not quite sure how else to explain it. Hey, Hobozim, how are you this morning? I was going, oh, gee. Yeah, you're getting close. You're getting close. If anybody ever runs into weather conversation in my chat, if you put in the number of the temperature, then a space, and then the letter for the unit, all of that in behind the word exclamation point convert, it will actually swap it for you. And so you can see what that looks like. Where are we here? Okay. Aha. So, I was building this on Frame One stream, and I built it originally out of spruce, and I thought, oh, I love this. Yeah, the walls were birch, so eventually I just said, no, this isn't working for me. Gotta try again. So I swapped it, and then I realized it was too tall. Yeah. Now, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, was that wind chill in or out? Okay, so we get, sorry, derailment. We get Chinook winds, which means that we get unseasonably warm temperatures whenever it feels like it. And sometimes we can even get literal spring temperatures, like in Celsius we're talking +10 sort of thing. Very rarely to get double digits, but it does happen. So people get sort of a faux spring, and then they have to deal with the fact that it's not real. Yeah, so we're looking at -27. It seems to insist on lowercase. Okay. I wonder if the uppercase version is, yeah, I wonder if the uppercase version just got accidentally disabled. But I guess it's lowercase then. Actions. Just checking. What do we do? Oh, okay. Yeah, it does seem to prefer lowercase, but I could easily fix that in between streams. Not a big deal. Yeah, very cold. Very, very cold. So we get to the point where when you start losing the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius, then you lose a lot. Okay, so this actually can come down third row, I think. I'm gonna punch a hole in the wall here and then use that. Oops. What was this one? Slab? Okay. I'm gonna punch a hole in this wall and then use my camera to fly out and see. That's floor level for the third one. Yeah, I could take the roof down that far, I think. I could probably even take the roof further. How short do I want this thing? Might actually have done that wrong. Let's see. I'm taking a look at my reference photo. Oh, and they would have had a darker beam, well, actually an extra beam right across the top of the jamb. A lot of the windows are literally right across the top of the support beam. So right where I'm standing would actually be oak and be shorter than what I'm looking at. Okay. Well, then let's go with it. Sure. So, plan C. Don't worry, we're not going to get to 5 plans this time. At least I'm claiming that's the story. That's the story and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, my son and I are supposed to be going cross-country skiing this weekend. As you can tell, I'm not overly enthused. I love cross-country skiing. You know, I haven't done it in years, but make no bones about it, I love it. The kicker is just when it's this cold, and he's just taking lessons. And lessons are only an hour and stuff, and it's with a bunch of his scout troop. So hopefully, let's see. No, I don't like that look. Okay, we're going back to the birch. Oh, I guess I'm gonna stick with the oak simply because, yeah, it works. I'll have a reason for it at some point. Basically, the model I'm looking at for a hall would actually have had a bunch of timbers with a whole extra beam sticking out. But the thing is, you know, reality of vlogs versus Minecraft of vlogs are two different things. So what would be a 6 to 8 inch log would be, if we're going to go Minecraft, a whole meter or yard to actually have sticking out. And I don't know if I like that look. Let me just see what would happen if I did this. Yeah, that's not only going to be spawnable, but I just don't like the look. If you don't try, you'll never know, right? So I'm going to fake it with a bit of stripe. What did somebody said the other day? Cold weather, you can, to some extent, you can keep putting on extra clothing, but for hot weather, there's only so much you can take off before you get arrested. I always find that amusing when people point that out. Need a second band on most of the house. Okay, so that'll work. One of the other things that I've been doing lately is I've taken a bit of a break from Vault Hunters. I will come back to it, but for the time being, I've just taken a bit of a break. Oh, actually, realism-wise, yeah, let's go with that. So I haven't actually quit or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to at least complete one building before I start bouncing around between styles. Okay, this one. At least that's my excuse. So yeah, that's sorry. So yeah, Wow, that doesn't say anything. So the long story made short on that is that then when I've rated out, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to be going to Vault Hunter playing streamers simply because the people that are watching my stream don't always get it, so to speak. So of late I've just been trying to do a little bit of a matchup, and the result is that we're watching a little bit more of some hardcore peeps, like people playing hardcore Minecraft, or something similar because they're playing vanilla. So take that out. And then that sort of fits lore-ish because the way the log would have to sit on top of another log if it was not sitting externally. Even though the windows should be... Yeah. The windows should be lower. Go like this. Oh, whoops. Forget it. I don't like that at all. You're just gonna get a stripe. Sorry guys, gonna get a stripe. Glenn's indecisive as always. Okay, 2. Where did I put this one? There we go. Doesn't work for you. You pretend, huh? Well, you're good at pretending. I'll give you that, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. You're definitely good at pretending. Why did I put a window there? Can't remember why I put a window there. That one makes sense. 1, 2. Okay. Down the backside. We will eventually get this building finished. It won't take, 12 days like everything else. The problem with historical builds is it always takes me forever to do them because I get really picky about how they look. And I'm actually thinking, I saw a very, very nice tutorial on a build, a very nice cathedral build. It's a little on the fantasy side, but it's a Zelda build. That sounds weird. And I'm thinking, okay, well, loosely inspired does not mean I have to kill myself over the cathedral like I did last season. So I might just say forget it and go a little bit longer. Sorry, what's the word? A little bit more relaxed this time. See if I can get some speed out of it. Because by the time I build up a bigger town for the whole place and all the mills and water wheels and so on that they're supposed
Thanks
to go
for the
with it.
raid Max Money AWA, and welcome your 7 lovely people.
Thank you, Max. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome on in.
Oh, hello there.
Oswin has a voice. Oswin is going to be the default Twitch speaker for now.
Hello.
I may at some point get him a better voice, but for now that's the one we've got. And yeah, I need to figure out a little bit more about inexpensive voice sources and stuff like that. Good morning, Max. Hello. Max Raid! Yes, Max Raid. So, welcome on in, and could you please tell me what you were up to this morning? Yes. Depending on where you are this afternoon, I don't know. But yes, please do tell me what you were. Shadows. Oh, yeah, I found out last night people were saying the built-in shoutout, the slash type, seems to be really, really flaky lately and largely non-functional. People were having a lot of trouble with that from both Griffin's multiple streams with the community and with the ones that Lammy Pie was trying to host. They were just definitely going sideways. So I would not be surprised if that is still the case this morning, and the traditional exclamation point SO seems to be the way to go right now. You were moaning and groaning and grinding your teeth and dealing with Nimrods. Well, we have Nimrods that I'm going to be trying to move into the world today. And I'm just once again redoing my house. You know, Glenn redoes houses, right? Maybe I should call that my new stream theme. Glenn redoes houses. This. And then we're going to take it down a little bit. Oops. But I will be moving villagers in. Okay. But I have to figure out how to get that corner fixed. It's gonna bug me. In any case. So when you were moving villagers around, what were you, what sort of building were you having them hanging out in? Were they hanging out in, like, fixed location, so one massive one massive trading hall, or were you having them in little mini ones, or are they semi-free range? Underground, okay. And as I said, is it a hall, or is it a remaining, like a, I would say free range, yeah. Mine are going to be semi-free range, meaning that I'm going to let them be free range within the castle, but once I move their workstations into the buildings, then they won't be moving around near as much as they did before. A stack of farms. Okay, okay. I believe you're heavily bedrock this season, am I correct? Or is that a misremembering? Never know. Corners. Remember how to do the corners successfully. I'll have to get those from the outside. Okay. And let's action. You're gonna have a whole lot of good villagers doing things. Are you going through with the zombie curing business with your villagers, Max, or are you going to skip that portion? I have a tendency to skip it, not because I can't do it, I just don't really... Once I've got an iron farm, then I don't particularly need to be able to cure them. So this is just gonna come down to there. Down lower. So we've got 3 rows, 4. Wow. So this is coming down a lot shorter. I need to think about that. Hello! How are you, CJ Bot? Good to see you this morning. World of CJ Bot is seeing Delenn once again tearing things down. Surprise! Not at all. But period pieces and all that, right? And all that jazz. I want it to sit right on. I do need it to be open. Hey, it's a corner. It's a corner, and I can fix it, sort of, maybe. This one. Yeah, and then that's the one I can't fix. There. Oh, they don't need to. It's not a problem. All right, and it'll be in my face. Oh. The donut might be close. Yeah, I've noticed of late that the Champion of the Hill that I've been using, they have seasonal updates, and I was aware of the seasonal update nature, but I had not actually seen the announcement that this one had been seasonally updated again. And I kind of like some of the new pieces in there. I mean, the toilet plunger I'm getting a little tired of, but the donut is pretty cool. It's very rigged, yes. So for Max Bunny, he says the... Okay, so he's working on both of the Dadcraft 73 servers this season, I see. Which is good to know. It's always confusing for me because there's no right or wrong way to play the game, and I love it that way, but it's sometimes confusing when you've got people from a similar community, but the streamer is running multiple formats of Minecraft, which just means that when people come in, I never really know what they've been working on, like, or what it means. Donut. How could you be defeated using a donut? Who won this one? Let's see. Oh, well, the fox is the champion. Yep, rigged, definitely. You brought a program. Oswin, shame on you. You know better than to be craving donuts. Not for you, Mr. Monk. No donuts for you. No soup for you either, in that matter. Oh, bud, you're not going to want to hang out there for long, sir. Because if you hang out there, you might come to an accident that would not be my fault. And I don't mean a hot accident. I just mean literally falling off the roof. I wish you would come inside. Not to mention it makes it more difficult for me to complete the work I'm working on. Bud, please, in, out, make your mind up. Okay, so, but you said you're leaning more coffee this season, Max. Does that mean that we'll be seeing a few, pardon me, more streams and screenshots of what's going on the coffee server? Or is one sort of the, I guess, business server and the other one is more the place to play? Inquiring minds are curious to know. This is coming down. Like, get up there to fix the corner. Tim Hortons, maybe? Most of the time. It depends. I'm kind of on the fence with Tim Hortons donuts. I like donuts in general, so I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll eat them from just about anywhere. But I'm no longer in camp Tim Hortons is the best. And that's because, I mean, I'm not trying to be anti-Canadian or anything, but it's because I found out not too long ago that the donuts are actually mostly made in Toronto, which is, 3 provinces away. And then it's like about 3/4. They're like par baked in a way, so not all the way through. And then they're flash frozen. Skippy. Shipped out to where they're going to be sold. And then that's where they finish the bake and put on the icing or dip or whatever it is. So that part's done locally. But the rest of it is pre-done elsewhere, which can, in my mind, can have an effect on the way the breading part tastes. And some, depending on the flavors, I've heard it said that some of the cake donuts are actually fully cooked elsewhere. So, I don't know if that's gonna be... Buddy, are you really trying to get yourself killed? Seriously, man. I don't even have a torch in here to try and scare you off. You're gonna have to walk off the edge when it's bedtime yourself. Not my problem. Okay? You already shouldn't be here anyways. So, yeah. He's in the wrong spot. Good question, though. Fantastic Dog Fox. Does it make it a food fight? I don't know. Are you fighting over food, or are you fighting the food itself? Okay, these are going to look weird for a little while because I'm going to start setting down the blocks before we go down. Or before we get the rest of the roof taken off. 1, 2, 3. Trying to decide if I want an overhang or not. I think I probably do. Oh. Seriously, man? I do, but I'm trying to decide, do I want it to be a slab that sticks out flat, or do I want it to be stairs? And that's the question. Like, do I want it half height or whole height? I think I'm gonna go full height and go with the stairs, even though it's right above the window. Upside down, of course. Murphy's Law. This one. Thank you. This is a lot shorter than it was before. On the other hand, we've gained a third floor. Where is... Really?
Cirque just redeemed first year, Olivia _ Benson 01139. For 1 clues.
Hello?
Hello? It's not supposed to do that, so I'm seriously wondering if any of the other pieces will work. Oh, I see. Okay, I see why I did that. Never mind. That's fine. So the firsts will continue to be redeemed, it sounds like. But things that where they don't get their name changed won't. So firsts and biggest fan will probably continue to be redeemed. I hope everybody's staying warm because it's nasty out here. We had to have conversations with our kids about how to dress, you know? And of course, when you tell them that they need to dress warm, that's when they finally tell you that things don't fit. You know, we have a bright 11-year-old, but I swear that this guy is got the teenager thing going already. It's that self-centered care meter. Sometimes you tell your parents stuff just to make them go away. At the same time, you also don't want to waste your time on things when you're busy being interested in something else. So stuff like, well, you know, if you prepared the night before, you'd know these things. Or when you discovered it after school the other day and you knew it didn't fit, why didn't you tell me when you got in the door after school? And he just gives us a look like, Mom, I have other important things to do. And then he gives some sort of excuse like, I need the washroom, even though his sister goes, he went just before he left the school when we walked home together. So you wonder if he just wants Mom to shut up and go away. And I mean, probably he does, but 81 Fahrenheit or 27C. Those aren't the same thing, I don't think. Well, maybe they are. That would explain why I don't like it when our basement accidentally gets set to 81 from the oil heater. We have oil heaters in the house. I've got one in my office and one in our media room. Sorry, Fantastic Sherlock Fox's office, top media room next door. And I quite like it when it's roasty toasty, but 81 is a little bit much. We have to turn it down, for sure. For sure and for certain. Or some such. Guess one up here I don't need. So I've already dispatched 2 golems for the day. But this guy, they always seem to want to stand exactly where you don't need them to. So long story short, the spruce from yesterday was the wrong color. So I fixed it last night by switching it up. Then today I decided I needed the, what do you call it? The support rails. So in theory, if you were doing this the real way, I believe the windows should have been vertical. I can't really tell on the main hall. It's not super clear in the pictures I've got, but at least partway up they would have a cross banding of sorts, and actually I was starting to wonder if it should have been vertical to explain the cross banding. But in any case, if I change my mind on that, that's an easy fix that I can easily do offline. So we'll ignore it for now. So then I put the oak bands in for various floors, and now I'm working on the roof. But at the moment, this is the only floor where an iron golem would fit. So he's going to be here for a while. And I don't know if he's going to fit once I get all the other pieces in. I'm hoping he won't fit, because then it means I don't have to worry about having golems spawning in weird places all over town. This building should be the largest, so we won't have to worry too much about it. Now, although it's supposed to be the main hall, I'm still going to use it for part of the iron farm. Not iron farm, sorry, the villager zone. And I'm debating what to put in it, because the hall is frankly too good for the farmers. Sounds dumb, but I'm gonna go with it. The smiths and such don't really seem to logically fit in a hall, but I don't really want to perma-install the librarians, because I'm actually going to have them not be part of this at all. Eventually, I mean, I'm going to need librarians, but I'm going to actually have them... Oops, I did this wrong. This back beam's correct, the front beam's wrong, I think. But I'm eventually going... Oh no, that's right, the back beam's wrong. Yeah, okay, this one's wrong. But I'm eventually going to have the librarians standing in for monks in the monastery zone, monastery abbey thing, which is sort of a next, but it's not going to be here. It's actually going to be way over yonder across the river. Yeah, as far as Minecraft convenience goes, that's definitely not going to work. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? But I want to populate both areas with somebody, and that's not going to work if I don't somebody to work with. Okay. Let's go here. Okay, so yeah, it's cold. It sounds like we've got the seasonal Snowmageddon has arrived for just about everybody. So I really do hope people are managing to stay warm and toasty and all those good things. We've got some interesting conversions. I know also some of the places that aren't necessarily so cold, per se, are getting really, really gusty winds. I know our friend Neon Traveler was telling us yesterday that he was seeing 30 to 50 mile an hour winds with like 150 feet max of visibility while he was out and about. So that's not great at all. CJBot, I'm just kind of curious. Is that, I'm assuming that's your outdoor temperature? And if so, what region are you in? For some reason I didn't think you were in a spot that would get that warm. That sounds more like a Cali kind of thing that we would expect out of CK Grapes, and yet she was saying yesterday that they were expecting snow where she was. So, highly confused, but that's okay. One of these days, I'm gonna get myself a map and like start putting pins in it or dots on it or something, and plotting where all my online friends claim to be roughly from. Because I mean, I don't really want to know where. Maybe just a little chart, actually. It might be easier, just a chart of time zones. Okay. Mississippi. That's not too bad, then. I'm assuming, though, that it's probably fairly muggy. That's an assumption that's likely off base, but who knows? I just find, from what I understand, Mississippi's a fairly muggy state overall. Fairly humid and such. Yeah, I'm in Prairie, Alberta. So we're just north of Montana. Well, not us just north, but province north of Montana. And we get lots of cold. Lots and lots of cold. Let's get the stairs show on the road so I can get this wall back in. And then figure out whether or not Mr. Golem will be there. 2 more of these. Where did birch? I'm gonna need the birch for other things, so I'm not bothered that I don't have it in yet. That off the end, so we need 1 more. There we go. Stairs. Birch. Very humid minutes sometimes. I'm a little confused by that, but okay. It can get fairly humid sometimes. I follow. follow. That works. Okay, so I'm only going to have one up here. That's upstairs for now. This one, and then this one here got to come out. And these three. That one. Well, put those. 1, 2. No. All right. That will be Slabberoonie. One, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, we will have enough space for golems. That's annoying, but hey. Could be worse. Oh, I see. Yeah. Are you on mobile this morning, CJ? I'm just idly curious, because that tends to be where words like that come in accidentally, is if you, lack of a better term, fat finger the auto suggests on your keyboard, it'll do that. Voice keyboard. Oh, yeah, okay. That happens too. One of the reasons actually I don't have voice keyboard on my computer, although I guess now that I've got a half decent mic I probably could. Never tried it, but I'm half expecting that it would type something garbled between what I say and half the time what it thinks one of the streamers is saying, because one of the times, or some of the times, that my stream forgets to shut down, then we end up with the sounds of other streamers popping up on what's left of my stream just because they come through on my mic. Let's be smart about this. I missed one. I missed two. And I did it. Will you go? And this one. And that one. Oops. Problem with doing that is then I forget to come through with other blocks. Nope, not that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One should say this is an easier pattern than the last time, right? And then this one has the window. I'll chop out after. There we go. She's doing her best to sort out her priorities. If that makes any sense at all. Never had the right things in the right spot. Sometimes I wish that the Minecraft hotbar would be like an even dozen. Although I recognize I probably don't need, a pickaxe and a sword and a crossbow in there at the same time while I'm working on building things. I mean, that doesn't necessarily make logical sense. It's a paranoia thing on my part, and I probably don't need to be carrying around the lava bucket. However, of course, we're going to be using that in not too long. Pardon me. No. Sorry. Not invited. Not invited. The other thing about the model I'm working with, it had occurred to me this morning that it does not actually have a chimney of any sort. Neither above the roofline nor below the roofline. So, I have to figure out what to do with that piece of information, because As anybody who's ever played, say for example, Valheim can tell you, you do not have a chimney, you die of smoke inhalation. I mean, obviously it happens in real life too, but yeah, in games, you will have problems. So, thankfully Minecraft doesn't do that to you. Nope. Come on. Thankfully Minecraft does not do that to you, but, you know, it's an element of realism I think is worth including. And this one there. I have to go from the bottom. If you wanted to walk off the roof, that would have been appreciated. Right. The other reason I'm carrying all this stuff is because I didn't spare a slot for a bed. They would be playing a lot of musical chairs at the bed. So I would be replacing it and moving it over and over and over again. Oh. It looks like I'm down. Wow. Okay, so somebody slept on the bed I usually use at the end. Okay. I was trying to figure out where all the villagers went, because there was a bed at this end that was unused, and I was a little concerned by that. Get this row done. There. Efforts. Yeah, I'm gonna come back up and fix the lip underneath portion, the other side, but that's okay. This is definitely looking very similar, but of course that's intentional. We won't have that going through the whole series of builds.
Oh, hello there!
And coloring. Hello, Darby. How are you? Good to see you. I will admit, Darby, I saw, I'm a mod for Carnage Joe, as Darby's aware, and Darby had been the wonderful recipient of one of Joe's giveaways on her 12-hour streamiversary, I guess? Streamiversary stream, and so I got to see the awesome picture that came when the shirt arrived, and I would definitely agree. You are cuter than you think you are. And the shirt looked fantastic on you. Nice and comfortable. Carnage Joe had, a while back, had her, I believe it's her daughter, designed for her the logo for her website, which is basically a dog's paw print, and then there's a variety of different pieces that go on that, so hearts or hype or different things like that. And a couple of different blanks and flares in behind and so forth. So there's a variety of paw formats, and so she's got some merch with the paw print on it, and that's what Darby selected as her giveaway piece when she won, and it looked great. So yeah, Joe's got some fantastic logoing going on. And I know I'm not going to go into yet another conversation on logos and stuff. I know I do that and yada yada yada. I know that I've said it a million times and I'm not going to bore people with it again. But yeah, it worked out well for Joe, and Darby's shirt looked fantastic. Debating, do I want it square inside, or do I want to invert stairs all the way in, making it double thick, giving a slightly smoother look inside? Pardon me, and gonna place it a little smaller to deal with. That might be on my list. We shall see. Okay, so if I can get this part done. I place slowly because I actually have this horrid fear of falling off, even though it's a game, right? Like, it does not make logical sense for me to be bothered by that. You know, well. That's a pain. Top these, thank you. Maybe if I go by this time, I might remember to take out the slabs that are up there. Because they're kind of hard to reach. Hello, sir. You will not be here for long. You know, to be honest with you, I would be too, but I have a soft spot for long sleeve t-shirts and sweatshirts. As conversation has come up recently, even though it can get pretty hot up here during the summer, by comparison, I mean, we acclimatize differently. But even though that can be the case, I still will love to wear those sorts of things all year round. And for many, many years, Fantastic Sherlock Fox would go to, business conferences and so on. And he would end up with, t-shirt swag of various sorts. So between that, and I mean, there's the odd one I actually bought. Most of the time I don't buy shirts because I just don't like the look on me. Most of them are tapered, so if I have to get a shirt for something, I try to get it not tapered. So in other words, I'll buy a men's shirt rather than a women's shirt because they tend to taper them. And also women's ones, I don't know what it is, but something about them, the sizing is never consistent. Guys, it seems to be that the world has accepted guys are a particular shape or size. But for ladies, I don't know, but it just seems that the world doesn't want to have an agreement on what they think our sizing is. So anyway, it just means then that if I want something consistent, I have to look for a guy's size. So when it comes to t-shirts, I love patterns, I love the designs, but if I can get long sleeved or a sweatshirt, that's where my head's going to be at. I can get upside down a couple of these. I would do so, save myself trouble. This one. It is totally, well. Some of us have size consistency issues for reasons absolutely separate from the clothing industry. And that's my current one. Because I love to Minecraft, and I love to read, and I love to knit, and have you heard anything in there yet that involves a lot of physical movement? Nope. So, majority of the stuff I do does not involve a whole lot of movement about, and that's not great for fashion or health or anything like that. But, wishes, horses, and all that jazz. Could have sworn I would have had enough because I had enough last night. Weird. Oh, I know why. I put an extra row at the bottom, which is why I don't have space up top. And these two can come out. 2 more stairs. I have to figure out what I want to do with the stairs to be able to get up and down in that 3rd floor. Probably going to do spruce. Probably the easiest. I just haven't built them. Okay, so let's get some more of the stairs. 30. Probably won't cover it. Where am I here? We need 6 for stairs, right? Isn't that how it goes? 1, 2, 3, 6. Yes. So that should do it. Probably still not enough, but I'm gonna go with it. Do I have any spruce around? No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There's a hole in the roof. There lies a hole. Oh. That didn't help. These two. With me on avoiding long sleeves? Oh. Yeah, I love doing a lot of that stuff. Read Minecraft or Family History. Yeah. Family History's cool. I'm really not very good at it. But my mom's done a bunch of it, just trying to dig out her family's history. And I find that whole genealogy business really cool. Particularly when you when there's a possibility of hearing or figuring out some stories. So I'd love it when I get the the opportunity to hear people's stories of how their family history went. So it's less like I shouldn't say an addiction, but I have a strong interest in, say for example, the British show, Who Do You Think You Are? I think that's the one. I'd have to check my YouTube history. But in any case, they have similar ones in the US. But the thing I love about these shows is not just the family history portions of it, but it's the stories that these people find out going with it. And in the TV show, when it's stars, they actually go to places or talk to specialists in different locations to get more of the actual story behind the person. But of course, it's always ultra convenient for the filmings because the documents are there, they're super easy to find, or the dead ends it turn out to be dead ends you don't really care about, you know. So the reality of how challenging family history research can be is not portrayed accurately in these programs. Let's see, they're definitely not portrayed accurately in these programs. However, doesn't make them any less fun. And it is intended to be dramatic, for sure. And they pick the people, like I'm sure they go through a bunch of them and they realize, okay, we're going to make enough money back on having, we'll say, Martin Freeman. I'll just pick one out of the air. We're going to get enough money back on that one that if we do a few other stars and we find out, oh, nope, they're run-of-the-mill, very boring, very Joe average type of history, then we don't need to
Oh,
we don't
hello
need to worry
there.
about it, kind of thing. Then, like, as in, they're going to make enough money off the ones they do air that by having Joe Average research done on the other ones, or coming to a dead end really quickly on some of the ones they did want to air, they'll make their money back, right? It's worth spending the money. Welcome in, Kate. Sorry, tongue-tied this morning. Probably need a bit more coffee. I am Delenn Russell. I don't recall us having met before. So I'm always curious to find out how people I'm unfamiliar with tripped over the channel. And what brought you in today, sort of thing. As you can see, I'm working on what it looks like a fort. The intent is it's supposed to be a Mott and Bailey style castle, sort of medieval theme. Excellent. Glad you have a really fun, rewarding. Pardon me. So, in any case, where I was going with that is this is a Mott and Bailey castle, not great. It's loosely inspired by Shrewsbury Castle in England, but not the versions there today because medieval stuff just doesn't exist when they get a whole bunch of designers that destroy it. So yeah, go with that. All right. So if I do, come on, the golems only need 3 spaces to spawn, right? Is that correct? Yeah, they need 3, which means if I put lighting in the roof, you can watch me set you on fire. That's fine. If I put lighting in the roof, then that still won't make it low enough to keep him out. I'd have to actually drop the roof beam and then let him out. Actually, I don't mind doing that. So let's go with... Oh, we're gonna... the oak beam thing we've got going along. Wow. That guy is really taking forever to burn up upstairs. And that doesn't quite fit the look we had outside, but I'm okay with that. Am I? I just said that, then I changed my mind. Delenn the Indecisive. I'm actually not in the market at this time, I'm afraid. Just it's not something that fits at the moment. So I do apologize, but not really looking for the artistic design to be done. I'm still learning the ropes of how to be a half-decent personality. And so we'll get to the artistic side of marketing when there's something to actually worth marketing. Okay, so we've got cross beam sticking out, which holds up part of the roof. And then if I'm just gonna do a quick test on this one, see what it looks like if I double up. Yeah, actually if I double up all the way around, it makes it tighter. But on the other hand, we'll have less golem spots. And the characters aren't really supposed to be up here anyways, it's just for storage. I think that's gonna work. Leave that open for now. Oop. Because I didn't have enough. I didn't have a plan. Didn't have a plan for that. That would explain a lot. Okay. Let's go. Oh. Let's make a lot of stairs. That'll work. More than enough stairs for a Coon's Age because we'll be making other buildings. So that's fine. How am I running into things? Yeah, I'm just that daft. Okay. I can handle that. So, I think that's gonna work because it'll keep out a lot of the golems. I could actually have just stopped with the upper level, but I think it's just gonna make more sense to do it all the way along. Because it fills in some of this spacing anyways. Although it makes it easier for me to pick up pieces when I mess up. This way. This way. That one? Yeah, I can. Is it cold and blustery where you are, Darwy? Is it indeed cold and blustery? I don't particularly want to go out today. We talked about it earlier. We've got a Celsius minus 33, which I think converted to about a minus 27.5 Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm not keen on being out in the cold. So I've got the hole. I have to get myself in it. Huh. So what I'm gonna do actually, is this the middle of the building? Let's see. Is this the middle of the building? Not quite. One block over. Good. Yeah. I'm just gonna pop out here and go with one block over is where I should be doing this. Here. Oh, that's not gonna work. I need that not to be. That needs to be there. Go with a pair. I'm gonna take out this one. And then on this side. Trying to decide, yeah, how I wanted to do that. Let's see if I can get a pair of trapdoors. It's not going to be ideal, but what do you do? Well, that. No. Okay, let's see. I always spell it wrong, and I always think, oh yeah, I can do that. And nope, I can't. 6, okay. So we don't have that challenge. Or that available. That's fine. That's fine. I will come back with that one. For now, I'll just leave the hole in the roof. I'm okay with that. Alright, so let's go and get rid of... Light it up and see if we can get rid of the guy upstairs. If he hasn't gone already. this one. I'll just fix that for better lighting. Go as far as near this wind. We have snow? Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got snow. A good amount of it. Okay. No, dude. You're supposed to go away. You're supposed to go. Yeah, you can stare at me all you like. Yeah, our snow is definitely feet would probably be a good way of putting it. So we have 2 feet, I guess. Panama sounds lovely, yes. I'd like a vacation. I think I'm gonna go classic on this one and just plug these parts of the door, or through the windows. Just not have them on this side because the excuse is stairs. And this one's all back wall. And then we can move this part forward. 1, 4. Can't seem to think that it shouldn't really take forever on doing these stairs, but I always do. I keep changing my mind. Okay, so this one. Then here, there, there. And then, how much space do I actually need? I think I need that. Nope. Why is it I always need one more? Okay. Got a 1 spot landing. I only need a 1 spot landing here. 2, 3, 4. Montpellier, huh? Nice. I'm sorry, Keith. Or Keith, we are not interested at this time. Please do consider taking your business elsewhere. Well, that's inconvenient. Okay. So, that's okay because there's a roof in the way, so I need it to be 2 units deep. Anyways. 1, 2. And I do eventually want it to be spruce, so let's start with the spruce here. And we'll switch to oak for now. There we go. Alright. I can fill in the floor. And it's night in here. Smart as I'll get out. On my part. 1 there. 1 there for now. And then this hole in the roof should close up. At least I don't have you-know-whats yet. Because those mass bats are a royal pain in everybody's neighborhood. This one. That one, and let's jump the roof. Boink. Okay. So for the time being, these are my smoke holes. And then we've got lighting on all 3 floors. And what's his name should be off the roof. And I've got an iron farm, so I'm just going to leave whatever it was up there to despawn. I don't care. Alright. So far, so good. Now, there's also a serious... Oh, do I like horror? No. Well, no. Not modern horror. There we go. And I could put poke holes in this end if I want, I guess. Not modern horror. I actually quite enjoy the old horror stuff, both from a theatrical, how they did the special effects standpoint, and also as finally.
Hello.
Hello. Hey Grief, how you doing? Good to see you. How was your day, future man? We're only partway through here. I'm a little confused. You're not going to upset me in most cases, are we? Just give it a shot, and half the time I won't even understand it. But yeah, I'm not normally a horror fan, but I like a lot of the old stuff, like the Lon Chaney sort of things, and like original Swamp Thing. You know, those sorts of silly things. I get a kick out of that sort of stuff. There we go. Oh, yeah, no, not a fan of those ones. I mean, the acting was cheesy enough to make it quote-unquote safe, but not my cup of tea. Okay, so as we can see, yes, once again we do have a very monotone color going on, for spawn-proofing reasons at the moment. But going forward, we will be having, if I can talk straight, going forward we will be having eventually leaves all over the place, and far more moss carpeting. So that's what's going to allow us to remain non-spawnable while having everybody moved in. Okay, so that's our main hall, which should actually probably be our bed barracks. It might actually be the easiest, and then give everybody else jobs elsewhere. Okay. They spawned a golem who promptly is dying. I'm curious how. This guy's head in a wall, or in a floor. Yay! The fact that they spawned him is a little disconcerting, though. I mean, I didn't intend to have a golem farm there. You live, you learn. Okay. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. One of those is mine, supposedly. Should be this one down here. But I don't actually have a mason. But I will take the black bed as mine, so that makes things a little easier. So let's just find a place to dump this stuff temporarily. Iron can go actually in the iron box. That would make sense. Wood might as well go in the wood box since we're there. I'm not going to be able to find any of it again, but that's par for the course. Okay, spruce can go in the spruce box. No. More slabs I don't know what to do with. Okay, then we've got just a little bit of birch, which won't fit everywhere. Oak slabs don't fit either. I'm gonna need more wood storage. Crazy. That's not something I'm used to. Highly eclectic. Yeah, well, I'm not really, yeah, I'm not really a horror person, nor a thriller person. Like, I mean, there's multiple different types of horror, for example, too. So, I wouldn't be a slasher fic gal either. I've got space for a lot of these. And at least to make everything square, right? Come on. Then getting the villagers out of the way. Another bonus to doing that when they're sleeping, at least, is it gives me a better idea what sort of space I'm working with in the rest of the place. Now, actually, horror's a funny one. I could probably read more than I could watch. Because the thing is, it's not just a picture's worth 1,000 words. It takes effort on the part of your brain to convert what you read. Wow, grammar. It takes effort on the part of your brain to convert what you read into something that will bother you. Okay. Whereas, if you see it, it's there. It's converted. It's already done for you. At one point, somebody was trying to get me to watch, was it a horror animated movie? Like, fully animated? And I don't see the draw. Like, that's one where I wouldn't watch it simply because I just don't get what's the big deal about that. Okay. Go up the stairs twice. See, that's like a bit of a horror movie in a weird way. Yeah, exactly. So, the other thing actually I find on audio, one of the things that Fantastic Sherlock Fox and I were watching recently that I enjoyed, similar vein, was that, or if I remember correctly, one of the things we enjoyed in a similar vein was we were watching a show about how the music being used in some movie scenes really affects the film. I think the example they were using was they talked about Batman. It's not actually the music, it's the sound that's played. So, for example, they had the Batmobile was actually a completely unrelated sound that was pitched up a few notches and then turned into a whine by doing so. This particular episode was about how different sounds that actually didn't have anything to do with what was on screen were very useful in that way. Okay, guys, I know you're probably not going to come up here, but that's okay. That's part of the plan, right? Right? Maybe, kind of, sort of. I know if it's the hall, it should be more sleeping quarters on the upper floors. But with all this here, my guess would be most likely that either A, the villagers would never see the bed, so they would never come up here, and B, we'd end up with more of our fine friends spawning that we don't want, in which case, yeah, they can go suffocate in the roof or something. So, yeah, not happening. In this case, though, I'm just going to bend the rules and what's that? Just a couple of beds down the middle. Sure. And we'll see what happens when the villagers hit bedtime, because I bet you they won't actually come in here. My preferred genre by far is mystery novels. Historical mystery is probably preferable, but it doesn't have to be accurate historical, just sort of like set in the not now. So, for example, this season is actually all based on, or loosely based on, the Brother Cadfael medieval mysteries. Last season's base was all other mystery, well, I shouldn't say all other, but a couple of Cadfael references and a bunch of Sherlock Holmes references and Poirot references and that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's my favorite genre. I do like a little bit of fantasy. Not a ton. I don't remember the last time I read anything but mystery, to be honest with you. Fantastic Sherlock Fox knows our collection fairly well, and I can't think of a whole lot that I read that wasn't mystery recently. I do like reading nonfiction about things as well, so sometimes it's about the historical stuff or historical places. So, I mean, I guess history is another category I like. Yeah. When it comes to podcasts, for example, and listening to things, I would say that my favorite genre in that case is, at the moment, just all about streaming stuff. More that's all I've given myself time for. Dystopian sci-fi. Ooh, cool. I'm actually kind of curious. Will we? Oh. Apparently I have a lot of questions about food this week. I tried a new quote of the day just to see, or question of the day just to see what would come up. And we got more food. I know yesterday someone was requesting barbecue sauce recipes, which is something that our house is always attempting to make use of new ones and then deciding that we are quite happy with these expedient solutions some days. Yes, I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. A huge Sherlock Holmes fan. I look over to the side and I wanted to laugh. Okay, give me just 1 second to... Actually, no, I don't think I have a picture of that one handy. I'm just going to check real quick to see if I have a picture of my bookshelf. Because there are a lot of books there. But yeah, I'm a bit of a collector when it comes to Sherlock Holmes. Not a whole lot of recent stuff on there. But it used to be part of a local Sherlock Holmes book fan club. So we would get together and read a lot of the short stories and discuss them, and read a lot of the modern pastiches in a similar vein and all that sort of jazz. Unfortunately, that particular group shut itself down just because, I don't know, because people couldn't get together and get organized or something. I don't know what the whole story was, but anyways, it disappeared. That doesn't stop me from reading. And I don't know if I have a shelf picture here. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, so this is actually only about half the collection, so I'm going to quickly add image. And it's not a reference, so I don't need to worry about that. So browse 66, blah 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 blah. iCloud photos. Search. Where is it? Oh, ooey. Bedrock? No. I saw it. And now I can't find it again. My iPhotos category is a mess. I've got a lot of stuff. Here. This one. Yes. Okay, not open it. I don't want you to open the picture. I want you to select it, please. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's kind of ridiculous. I can find the ones for my yarn stash, but I'm not seeing the bookshelf one, which is weird. Because I just picked up a bunch. Let's take this. Okay, yeah, I'll have to post a bunch in Discord. I was hoping to show the bookshelf on camera, but for some reason, I can't seem to find that one, which is too bad. I'll have to show you in Discord, but anyways, yeah, I've got quite a lot of Holmesian stuff. And so I need to get myself organized and actually mix my two collections together because I have a little bit of duplication. Potato soup. Ooh, yes, we derailed completely from the bookshelf conversation. Excellent. Excellent. I still can't find it. That's weird. I'm looking at the same folder and seeing most of the same pictures, yet the bookshelf one just isn't there. That's really odd. There's a lot more snow pictures in one of them than there is in the other. The snow pictures ones have a lot of pictures from something my kids took with a lot of finger in the middle of it, so I wonder why the two screens aren't matching up. I'll check it later. Give me just 1 second, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. And then after that, that deserves a hydrate, so we'll just...
2, 4, 6, 8, everybody hydrate!
If I actually open the thing, you know? Alright, for anybody who's still kicking around from any of the earlier raids, do remember to do the channel refresh if that's your cup of tea. It does help a little bit, just partly because that way I don't see a whole ton of little gold boxes around. Hey Van, how are you doing, Vanavan? Good to see you. I apologize for chopping up the name. We were, oh, sorry. Looking at one of the screens and wasn't seeing everything on the screen. Good to see you. Good to see you since last night. That's awesome. We were talking last night about, I was in Lammy Pie's stream, and we were talking a little bit about being open and friendly and welcome to everybody. And one of the things I said that Vanavan liked had to do with underage shoulder surfers. Fantastic Shock Fox knows that's a huge bugbear of mine. It drives me crazy when our kids shoulder surf for me. But that's actually how I get my streaming opportunity, is that the shoulder surfers are actually at school right now. So I don't have to worry about that for a little bit. Which is quite pleasant. Alright, where is these two? I should put them up against the walls, probably. That would have made more sense. Open space in the middle of the room and all that. Then I can throw storage up top, potentially. Okay, let's see. Let's start along the back side. Oh, that's not even what I wanted to do. Or I wanted, but not the right one. Okay, so we've got tools, tools. That. And skip. And then this one. Muted? I shouldn't be. No, the sound cuts out a little bit. I have a question. Are you by any chance on mobile? I don't know what it is, but for some reason, my stream is evil to people on mobile. So, I'm told that if you're on like 480, which is terrible, or worse, then you might actually be able to get it to work properly. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why that is. But if life made sense, then we'd all be rich. There's one for you for the day. Okay. So, where did the villagers go? They're still hanging on out there. Are you coming, guys? Are you coming in? You need to go to bed. Upstairs, please. Off you go. Shoo! Shoo, ladies and gents. Nope, not this one. Sorry, bud. You can't have that one. You can't handle the furnace. Neither can I half the time. There. It's 5:15. Are you guys by any chance gonna go upstairs for bed? I don't care if you just hang out in here. That's fine too. If you never go to bed, that's okay. These guys. Oh, well, of course they wouldn't come in. Duh. They're not gonna come in because I didn't put their stations down. Okay, we don't need you in the cupboard under the stairs. That's 1, 2, and 3. There. Eh. Guess what I forgot to do upstairs? Wow. Okay, that's not fair. Seriously? I mean, they die, that's fine, but that's annoying. So apparently they only need 2.5 to spawn. Working on dying. Yeah. I had honestly hoped that if I only put a 2.5, that I wouldn't be able to get those guys. But that looks like it's not the case. Okay. know I just walked across you. Sorry, bud. Crouching to see. I bring everything down half a block. There'd be more golems in the attic. Could I bring everything up half? But then I don't really like the look of that because then I'm only got a half here. I think that's not too bad. So let's go find some more spruce. Columns with goals. Oh, so Dari, we're in Java, and in the Bedrock format, they won't spawn golems unless you actively build an iron farm for them, which has to be a lot bigger than it does in Java. So that's sort of one of the pros and the cons. But Java also has a mechanic that's a social-based mechanic. So you get 3 or more in the same place, and they just start talking to each other, and eventually you're going to get golems. It's a pain. I hate it, but it's the reality. So the other thing I want in here is I want wood floors up top, because technically they're lighter. Okay, so in other words, thank you very much for goading me into saying what I should have said anyways. I appreciate that. I really do. So we're fine. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. It's all fine, right? Isn't that how it goes? It's all fine. It's all fine. Fine. We're fine. It's all fine. Yes. Twitch being twitchy. No such thing. Okay, so we're gonna go for. This floor seems to spawn the most golems right now. I'm actually going to go with the floaty bed concept. And say, sorry guys, no can golem. It's not about the height. I know, you're gonna kill yourself on the roof, I get it. Really? Yeah. Let's just start with doing the whole floor this way, and I'll pick up the beds after, because I just realized I picked up one. I should not have. Oops, sorry bud. And it's gonna get floaty up there. Oh well. We'll fix that later. You can get to the dying part of your day. You know that, right?
Don't creams up.
The social mechanic is a pain in the backside. You don't have to get you in trouble. Yeah. The social mechanic is a pain in the backside. I mean, it's great because if I really wanted to have an iron farm intentionally, without going through all the hassle. Oops. Okay, this has to come down. Without going through all the hassle of grabbing a zombie and stuff, you know, like as in I can have an iron farm on peaceful, which is not something that you can do in Bedrock. So that's the way it works. What I'm actually doing is doubling up, and it's not because that's going to help at all in the double up sense. Sir, you're in the way. Can you move, please? But if I double up, then I can just chop out the floor below, thankfully. It's not counting as a top slab on the existing floor level. Then that way, I shouldn't have to worry about things. Oh, get you, sir. You need to move. You need to actually move. I just realized you're both stuck permanently. Because that's not going to work while you guys are up here. You need to get out of place. And you're not going to be able to if I put the floors in. Mr. Farmer Man, you need to move. This one. Maybe we may keep the villagers out of this floor too if I put the extra layer in. How convenient. Yeah, how convenient. Yay! Okay, so I've blown nearly 2 hours doing this. This... Yeah, gonna look really weird, but that's okay. The indecisiveness is what makes these buildings take so long, because really, it's square. It's got a roof. And we haven't even finished the roof edging outside. Right? Where did that... Be careful, because I don't want to put the... Actually, I guess I could chop out the floor for villagers upstairs. Wouldn't make a whole lot of difference.
Hello?
Hello? The biggest fan is still the Swanky Potato, simply because he's the one that bought it after you did. So it went back to being Swanky Potato after you. That's why. The Swanky Potato. The biggest fan price keeps rising and rising and rising. That's the point of the biggest fan. Right? If you're my biggest fan, you will keep purchasing it. We have a bit of a biggest fan battle going on between Swanky Potato and Mr. Owl. Good to see you, Mr. Owl. Hello, by the way. Alright, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Curiosity question. How is your meeting schedule looking today? Is there any reason that I
Owl
should...
Poppins thought it was wise to use 305 clues on biggest fan, the Swanky Potato.
There we go. So that means that it should become the biggest fan for Owl Poppins on the next run. Let's double check to see if that actually worked. 305 now. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Wow. Yep. Now the next price would be biggest fan Owl Poppins. Redeem that with whoever it is and you'll get your name in there, but now the cost has popped up to 310. See? I didn't do it. Nice part about, or one of the nice parts about not having...
Darwy_Brist04 thought it was wise to use 310 clues on biggest fan, Owl Poppins.
Awesome! That's hilarious. You're gonna probably get a frowny face in there pretty soon. She did.
Owl Poppins just redeemed biggest fan, Darwy_Brist04 for 315 clues.
Oh boy. It's like the in-game battle of the people who keep wanting to pay each other back for being nice. I find that amusing too. There's people on this server and on Dadcar73's other patron server, the Bedrock version, that they keep trying to pay each other back, but instead they actually will just build blocks of precious items, and they've got large-sized towers, just slowly growing and growing and growing, and it's become now towers of shulkers just because we've got a shulker farm built now, and there's enough stuff getting passed back and forth between the people playing that they have issues not stacking more. Come on, you're in the way now. Really, would you just die already? Did I get... You guys from upstairs are still up there, aren't they? Good. I'm not gonna fire you, but I probably will chop out the floor underneath because this is getting annoying. Sir, are you're stuck. So let's just deal with that. This one. There. Buddy's gonna push you. Now, the same amount of space you always had to move around. It's just that it will be 1/2 block different. Wow. Come on, bud. You're not even my bud anymore. Go! You're a pest. He lives, ornery. Your ornery got raised. Oh wow, it's like you raised your hackles. I'm in a good mood, so I'm just gonna do this one. Flooring.
RY_Brist04 thought it was wise to use 150 clues on sound, creeper explosion.
Yep. That definitely made me jump. The creeper explosion, the spider hiss, and the enderman scream are all on randomizers, which means sometimes you'll get the hiss part of it, and it'll like hiss and fizzle, and other times you'll get the actual explosion, and I think there's one in there that has the explosion without the hiss and fizzle. Which, yeah, that one needs to be adjusted, I think, because it's verging on the jump scare variety that's not great. Either that or I'll turn down the sound, because that one's a little louder. And it's not that I don't want jump scares. The point of the sounds, when I put them in, was to be replaced, or basically to be like the game was actually having those characters in it to be harassing me. But when they're louder than that, I know it's fake, even though they might get me to jump. But if I'm going to have sounds that are louder to get me jump, then I might as well actually put in something that's not game related. There's a madness to this method, or so I'm told. Oh, for Murgatroyd. Seriously, dude, you need to leave. You're just trouble. This one, I keep wondering if I'm going to hit him. Go the way of the dodo. Be extinct, please. Extinct, not stink, because you already do that part very, very well. No. That's what they're there for. If they were if they're upsetting me, I would actually ask people not to do it, or I would take them out. So, you know, it's like if you're gonna make your own bed, you have to lay in it. I'm good with that. Finally, I can finish the floor. Yay! And there was much rejoicing. If I can actually find the button, maybe. Ah.
And there was much rejoicing.
Okay, let's get this roof done. This floor. Everything here should be one lower than it was before. Or sorry, one half higher. So let's see if I can make sure I can get up and down. Yeah. That one. Okay. And this is high enough that, sir, you should be able to go. I wish you would. Why you're hanging out, I don't understand. Take this bed. I'll move it to the middle of the room then. The end of this one, 1, 2. What down here? Is that better? You seem to have issues. Like, issues. Okay, fine. There's a lot of guys downstairs, and I have nothing up here, so it could be storage if I wanted to run around. Alright. Now, we have room for golems down here, but it's all paths, so they shouldn't be able to spawn down here. I'm gonna go with it. But double thick. Double thick ceiling. So because it's path, I'll just pull these in. Oh, whoops. Whoops. You know, material salvage and all that, right? Okay. So I figured out where the villagers are hanging out. And it's a darn good thing I have the sound muffler turned on, because these guys would be noisy. Noisy. I can't remember how many times I've done these floors on this building. It would be nice to have this building done. Alapoppins does, yeah. He does give as good as he gets. But he's a fun person to have in stream, nonetheless. I should ask, how is the Snowmageddon Snowpocalypse up in Mr. L's neck of the woods? Or down in Mr. L's neck of the woods, depending on which way you orient your map. Is Canada 2 still freezing their backsides off? And did Mr. Owl have to shovel snow today, or did he manage to successfully corner Mr. Cheese into doing it? Buttons, buttons, I brought the buttons. So that we don't have regular mobs spawning on. Oh. There. Love it. Organic troll community growth. That's very welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I swear I only took these buttons off in this. Oh, there. That's because I have employees that aren't in the shop. Okay. Okay, so we've got 2, and then I've got the farmers who don't really belong in here. Brewing stand and stone cutter. Let's go with brewing stand in the corner, because he's kind of a useless guy. And let's go with Fletcher next. You're second useless, I guess you could say. And then we'll go with Shepherd. Button this one.
Hello?
Button that one. And then we have farmers. Hello! I'm sorry, English only is all that we're really able to mod around here, so if you are not so inclined, then this may not be the stream for you. Been one of those days. It's okay. Alright. This one and that one. There. Okay, everybody, you got a home. You hang out here, you can hang out there. Just don't be a pain in the backside. Make sure we don't have golems again. What are you doing, sir? Seriously. Go join your friends. Honestly. You have challenges? I mean, I'd love to trade with you, but I can't if you're going to be up here all the time. What is it you want? I didn't even have a flower, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I know I could fire you, but I really don't want to go to the hassle of having to breed another farmer. Did I make it so that you don't know how to get down the stairs? That is a possibility. Please go. Thank you. Yeah, well, if I'm going to push and shove, you might as well leave. Alright. This one. And that one. Not quite what I want. I do need to move this by 1. And I don't actually want oak stairs, but it's what I got here. That count. 2. There we go. 3. Nope. Apparently, attic needs me to not have. Okay. So we might get golems up here. I'm hoping not because of the lower slab slot. If we do, they can suffocate the roof, and more power to them. And then this one should not spawn golems, and we have a weird spot in the side. Which is upside down stairs. I so wish I could just put lanterns in there. That would be really super cool, but not happening. We'll call it decorative, sure. And then here's the bed level, and then there's the work shop level. Okay, we're good. I'm done. Enough of that house. Enough. Oh, hang on a second. Missed something. No. Ignore. Oh, rails. Conversational. Okay, perfect. Yeah, yay, this one's finished. I know, it only took me 2 streams. That's kind of annoying. But I got that done and I cleaned up these guys. So, next piece up, if I can get the references screen to actually work. So we have looked at 5 references. There we go. Yes, it's on top of chat. Sorry about that. Won't be there for long. So on the left side, you can see in the back of that picture, in the sort of upper left, I guess, is sort of the building I was aiming for. We're gonna have far fewer buildings just because I built my place a little bit smaller. But I think we're probably just gonna lay down 1 or 2 more, just see what we've got for space. And then the sort of L-shaped one you see right near the moat, I'm just going to say, yeah, that's my stable, so forget it. And I might put 1 or 2 up in the top, we'll see. So we've got maybe 2, possibly 5 more to go, I think, if I can make them fit. But now that I have a scheme, a color scheme that sort of works, we're going to go with it. And you can see why I needed the trees. And I'm going to need to replace that with a bunch of birch. Probably more oak too, but actually as these come down we should be fine. Where's everybody going? You going to bed? Please and thank you? You go to bed over there, I'll go to bed over here, and then we never have to worry about seeing each other, right? That's the picture you were thinking of yesterday? Really? Odd. Okay, so nobody actually, they didn't all get to bed. That's odd. Well, we'll just have to see how that works out. I mean, they can see their beds from outside. And I may put on... Yeah, we'll see about putting on some shutters and stuff. But everybody should be... How did you get back here? Oh, and you're the... Okay, you're the name tag guy. Which also reminds me, at some point I need some names for the horses. The gold one is Slow. Absolutely slow. See, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We don't even have a full complement there. And then... Oh, really? And then this one is much better. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. That's not bad on that one. And he's a little faster to boot, so that helps. Yeah. And then this guy is actually 2, 4, 6, 8, oops, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. So for donkeys, he's actually not bad. He's a little faster than the donkey I left on the roof, which means I'll have to go steal the saddle at some point. And I may cave and make this one longer. I know we can jump to it from the corner of the roof, which I screwed that part up. Derail. Oh, got oak. Fine. Yeah. That's wrong. Spruce slab? No, I don't want that. I want oak slabs. This one. And then that one comes out. Alright, better. There we go. And now we can't quite jump to it from the roof, but we probably could over here. I don't know, we'll see. The other thing I want to do is I need to build more walls on this side off the top edge, so I don't really have room for another pen. I might end up having to extend it double depth, maybe? Then I can keep the sheep in the back. I shall think about that, because that might be a little more accurate to the shape. Anyways, regardless, we're not going to spend forever tree chopping. I just want to clean up enough of this nonsense that I can... so that's sure, why not? And there's enough of this nonsense that I can actually get some birch in here. Alright, and I've got a few birch to start, so we should be okay. Okay, so I'm just going to grab myself another picture, another copy of the picture. Where do I want to go? No. Weirdly. So, here. Okay, let's go for another building. What have we got? I'm going to just jump into the map real quick and see loosely. Reference. Where'd you go? This one. So you can see what I was going for. Obviously, I would have had to turn things, and I had a straight line up top rather than a straight line on the bottom. So I guess you could say part of it was mirrored. I'm really not going to move it now. Trust me, this is version 5 as it is, so I'm just going to leave it. We have the stable down on the bottom. So I have the room based on that other plan, and even what I've got. I could double depth my stable. That might not be a bad plan, but I won't work on it right now. Let's see if we can get another building or two in on the other side of the gate, so maybe over by the trees. Actually, we'll probably get 2 in on this far side as well. And keep the center section open. Big one on the far side. What mod is the clock from? Oh, the one with the time on it, on the top right? If that's what you're referring to, the in-game time, that's actually built into Zero's minimap. So the Zero's map system has that option, as does the journey map system does as well. I think they call that real game time as opposed to game time. Now the flag being that if you want AM, PM, I can't remember which is which at the moment. Not which is AM, which is PM, but which of the two mapping systems. What did I say I needed from here? Not jumped on. 1, 2, 4. This is about 5. But one of the two mapping systems, you can't get rid of the seconds if you want it to be AM, PM. So I get stuck with 24-hour clock. I have a habit of using both. This one doesn't have all the stuff. I'm trying to switch myself mostly to Zeros just to get used to it. When I play Vault Hunters, Zeros is the primary. It does not come with Journey Map, but I've put Journey Map in because it's a workaround for some of the blockouts for Zeros that they've built into the Journey Map game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That. Where I'm standing is fine. Gap. It can move. And this is going to be a bit of a smaller building. 1, 2. Oops. 4, 5, 6. And. Think. You jump. You can't. Okay. So then let's go sideways. But if you're into using Zeros, yeah, that's what I like. The reason I actually have both on this computer is, or sorry, in this world, is that, real quick here, it's easier to show than to describe. Let's take a few seconds run. I'm just going to snip through the portal up on the hill, and we'll show you what I mean. But I have both because of the way they operate in the Nether. So on Java, as many of you are probably aware, you can build on the roof. So my portal goes up to the nether roof. Take a load. Take the reference off briefly. Oh, actually, come on. Don't get stuck in the portal. Okay, reference off. There we go. So we're up in the portal, and if you take a look at zeros, we get below. That's fine as far as it goes, right? But it doesn't really show me what's going on elsewhere. Okay. However, if I go to journey map, I haven't explored a whole lot on the roof, can you tell? But on the journey map, while I'm seeing some of the mobs from right below me, I'm able to see what's going on the roof, whereas Zeros does not give me that opportunity. On the other hand, cave layers here run 7, so I can actually drop it down, and in theory, I'm supposed to be able to see other things, but as you can see, in the nether that doesn't work. Okay? And I can't recall whether or not they had actually done that. If I muck with it, it doesn't actually work that well. So I mucked with it. But that's okay. Usually it works fairly well. That's why I didn't actually use just journey map. Not that it's glitchy, but it's more that I wanted to be able to see the roof because we build on the roof. Right? There's my other donkey. Hello. Yeah, you're one heart less than your buddy downstairs. In any case, so that's why I've got both. I'm getting more used to Zeros. The other reason I like Zeros is that it does a really good job of having an accurate color representation or an accurate detail representation. So, for example, taking a look at this one, we've got that's Zeros, and I actually quite like it. It gives you a nice little bit of definition. It shows you like you can even see a little bit of a stripe way down at the edge, representing the hay bales that I've got down there. It's not perfect on the boxes I've got, but you can see most of the pieces. I don't like the shadows that Zeros puts on, but yeah, I'll take it. That's not bad. However, if I go into journey map, it's all like I see roof and stuff, but it's all like clunky, and it's a bit less clear, I guess is probably a better way of putting it. So this roof has no definition, right? I mean, they each have their pros and cons. They're very similar. The other reason I like Zeros, and once again, here we're in journey map. But if I zoom out, that's as far as I get. So I have to scroll. That's just the path I took exploring, right? Whereas if I go to Zeros, so we'll start back here again, scroll, and we're about, yeah, that's about where we were with journey map. But I can just keep on going, and going, and going, and going. So you can see, barring a little spot where I popped down near Lava King's base, for the most part. So when I had to scroll and then move, then drag my map around to be able to see just the square I'd visited, there's no way I'm going to see where all these other people are, right? So I wouldn't even know which direction necessarily to head out to Torvus's base. I'd have to scroll and then drag past a whole bunch of what looks like black screen. So that's not okay. And yeah, so that's the ins and outs of why I've got 2 different maps. It's because I can handle it, I guess. Though the lack of rezzing is a bit annoying at times, just the fact that we're on a multiplayer server where things get a little laggy. Oh, that's what happened to my sheep. Oh well. Because I don't like heights or spiders. And I've been having, I don't think there's a spawner, but I've been having a lot of spiders spawning down in here at night and then climbing up. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I don't really want to fall in that hole. That's why also we moved the one of the drawbridges compared to the model I was working with. I moved it over to the end on this side because, one, it's far more functional for me to use. and 2 is, I mean, my towers there, and 2 is that there is absolutely zero, lore-wise, zero chance that you're going to be getting massive armies coming at you across that stupid hole. So, I mean, I could have made that part of my moats. Would have made sense. I didn't bother. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the clock is, I'm just going to jump in there. So I go into the settings, and then under minimap settings, if you go into information settings, not that one, sorry. I don't remember which one is it. View? Next. Nope, that's not it. It's going to bug me now. That's okay. I thought it was information settings. Oh, there it is. Info display manager. So then you can change what things you wanted. So things like, do you want your coordinates? Do you want your dimension? Do you want your biome? Etc., etc. Light level, game time. And then if you want game time, then it's like off, or you can do 12-hour, 24, and so on. That was under information settings and then info display manager. Over and beyond what? I don't mind taking a moment. It's something different than what I was doing before. The other thing I find, Journey Map is nice. It stays relatively up to date. I mean, for the essentials. But, and it has a lot of configurability, so no arguments there. But the annoying thing about Zeros in that respect is that sometimes I wonder if Zeros is like the flavor of the week or the color of the week or something, because it seems like you turn your back and you sneeze and Zeros has been updated. It's just, it's all over the place. No, that's what I was doing. Wow, Delenn. Way squirrel. Way squirrel.
I hate squirrels!
Hey, think I had a little bit of fun? Yeah. I just turned off Zero's ability to notify me that it updated. Okay, let's go 7, I think I wanted. So, yeah, it updates far more than necessary. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. How much is this? My logic is always to start with the super long one being the crossbeam, but I think this case will do the short one. What is this building? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the width. So if I make this one the length being the same as that one's width, that actually won't be too bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Oops, too early. This one, then this one. Yeah, I totally have to turn that off. By the way, Zerk, I don't think I said hello to you. So, hello. My villagers are not spread all over. Yay! It doesn't mean I don't have golems. Boo! Okay. I don't know what this building is for. Don't know what this building... Yeah, don't know what it's for, and it's actually at the wrong angle, but that's okay. Because it's my buildings, right? I do it my way. Sure. I'll pretend I have a permit. Not the case, but I'll pretend. So as I said, there will be color coming into this eventually. We're not all monotone today. Well, today, I guess, but not all monotone for the entire build. It's just that I'm spawn-proofing it to reduce golems while I build, because we have enough of them, as it is. I'll find something, yes. Block light instead of light. What? Okay, basically the long story short is block light will only tell you about the light with relation to the block, specifically. Whereas, if you have both and or light in general, it will often tell you, I think it tends to give you whatever the highest value is. So for example, right now light is at sky level light. Whereas if I was to run in here, and you see it's jumping down, and that's sort of the overall block light because I don't have access to the sky. Okay? But back out here, when I go outside during the day, it gives me, I've got full access to the sky, so it gives me the full skylight. Another good way of looking at it, let's see. Up here, oh, well that's gonna be a problem. Guys, stay off your beds. Guess I'm gonna have to embed the beds, or take out this floor. I mean, it was only a decorative thing to begin with. So it's not just an indoor thing. I mean, we see the light level dropping down to about 10 up here. But if I was to go stand right underneath this spot, because of the sky access, we suddenly have 15. So you can go with generically the light based on where you are. But if you have the option of either, like if you have both, then that's fine. The skylight, of course, only is effective during the day because it shuts down at night, right? Okay, I guess we don't really need this floor, and that would solve this problem, because I don't really like the idea that my villagers can't go anywhere because they're stuck in the roof. So I guess we don't need that floor. Fine. Well, we have enough outbuildings, it's not critical. I really will be done with this building at some point. Really, maybe, sort of, I hope. Grown. Okay, can I get there? Yeah, apparently don't need that spot. Can I get down the stairs? Yes, get down the stairs. Alright, let's remove this. You can get off the bed. Better? If you got your head stuck in the stairs, that's not my problem. Not yet, anyways. You two. One of the problems with the current batch of quality of life mods I'm running is that, that's what I didn't want to do. Is that I actually, you wouldn't believe it, but I actually have hitboxes turned on. But you're not seeing it because something I've got going on there is conflicting in such a way that the hitbox is not showing up. So, yeah. I'd love to know what that is, if I can ever figure it out. It's less critical on light, for me at least, on what light level is displayed now compared to the way it used to be. And the reason I say that is, as long as you're anything above 0, you're good, right? Block light is critical when it comes to dealing with spawnability. But if you're just wanting, daylight, night versus nighttime, as we have now, then it's not a big deal, really. Let's see. I'm into the whole tech thing. Oops. Escape. Okay, we wanted mini-maps. Info. Not that one. It was light, right? Information settings. Yes, info settings. Display manage. Light level. So, all, both, off, block, sky. I'm going to do both, and I'm going to show both so we can see what each of them are doing. The BL is block light, and then you can see as we get closer and closer to night, the sky level is dropping. But then out here, it's not quite night enough yet, so we're going to get that. But we've got block light of 0 because I have no torches out here. That's the impression I've got. I could have it entirely and utterly backwards. There is that possibility. I'm just going to, I've added light overlay So yeah, I should. Block light is definitely 0 out here because I have no torches. But over here, but yeah, we're getting closer, and you can start to see where I am is 3 by the time they measure it, but the floor is saying 1 higher. Alrighty. Ah, yes. Depending on which one you use, they have different abilities. The other thing is that I've added, by the way, just in case you're curious, that's oops, no, not but. Mod, and I'm in caps for some reason. Mod menu. So that's the one that got me the button that I was using there. Light. I wanted light overlay. Where did I put light? There it is, light overlay. Okay, so we can change that up here. But also you can mess around instead with config files if you really want to. But show number instead. Yes. Kind of handy. Display underwater. I have it yes. Because that way I know if I want sea lanterns or something to try and avoid drowns. And I don't bother with it in mushroom biomes because I'm not going to get mobs, so that's fine. And then you can change what it looks like and what your levels are and so on. I like that. It's actually funny that we're having this conversation today, only in that just last night I kicked up the user interface scale. I often, for personal play, I prefer it at level 3, but for on-screen for everybody else to see, leaving it at 5 is handy because everybody else can see what's going on. Though I did shrink the text a little bit for the chat because I didn't think I needed it to be as tall as the item bar at the bottom. Yeah. So if you're dealing with your bar by config or blah blah blah, if you're dealing with your lighting mod via config files, then yeah, it's something you can change. No problem. No problem. Where is reference? I'm going to turn this one back on, and I'm actually going to move it. Screen map 1. Let's go up. Up, can you please? Up, up, up. There. That's not quite so badly in the way. You've learned tons from Dell? Wow, Zerk, that's I appreciate the compliment. That's a very two-way street because I've learned a ton from you as well. About all kinds of things. But I mean, on the other hand, some people are very insistent, and, you know, why not? It's a play style. Some people are very insistent on playing as though... Yeah, I did what I thought I did. Okay. I turned the building because I didn't leave enough room. Forget it, whatever. But are very insistent on playing vanilla as it was written. So there are people that don't want to make changes, and then there's quite a lot they can learn about quality of life mods later on, just because they want to play things, you know, their own way, right? And that's fine. One of the things I like about playing with quality of life mods, as weird as it sounds, is that it means it's not a whole brand new world to me when I try to play modded after this. So some of the things that you can do in modded, you don't necessarily have to say no, as in no you can't do that or no it doesn't exist when you play the regular game, because it can exist. And it doesn't have to be, you know, an assumption that it's all server side. It doesn't have to be an assumption that, oh, well, we can't have that when playing vanilla because it wasn't included in the original game. I mean, you can make that rule for yourself, but it's your own choice on limiting that. And it's neither right or wrong. One of the mods I'm actually intending to look for once we get offline is the ability to block or lay blocks forward. So, quality of life mod, so that Java receives the joy that Bedrock has with being able to block forward. Side effect to that, though, and the reason I'm deciding this season that for me it's okay to do that. Normally I'd have a problem with that, as in I'd say, oh no, you know, feels a little too unvanilla. Is my logic twofold? One, if Bedrock has it, I don't have an issue making Oh, yeah. If Bedrock has it, I don't have an issue making Java have it. Right? That's sort of a bit of a logic there. Another thing, though, is that if I'm going to be focusing on building this season, sometimes backwards does not get me the effect I need to be able to make the build the way I want it to look. I don't think it would speed me up a whole lot, but it just helps a little bit to be able to be down at this end laying blocks, be able to glance, oh yeah, okay, that's where I want it, or no, it isn't. As opposed to going backwards, having no clue, get down to the end of the row and go, oh, that wasn't what I wanted after all. So, yeah. So this one's going to be a little smaller, but we're going to do the same plan as before. What did we do? 2.5? Okay. Oops, wrong one. Ah, already. This block right that way, so next this way. Log. I'm still wondering if it should have been vertical. Because if I take a look at Model 2 instead of Model 1, oops, cancel. So if I take a look at Model 2, and I'm just going to briefly blow this one up, we're not going to do it that way the whole time. You can start to see in the model that they built, the archaeologists had helped build, of what it should have looked, the first castle should have looked like. You can see that almost everything is wood, but almost everything is done vertically as well, which would explain the horizontal ties of the various levels. And, yeah. So, I don't know. It's all about, like, wood chinking and stuff like that, so if you come back on stream and you suddenly see that the castle walls, or not the castle walls, the buildings have suddenly changed orientation, there's your answer why. Oops. I want to move. I want to move this picture up. There we go. Close enough. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Too much homework makes everything weird. Okay, the light overlay you use is just called light overlay. Yeah, actually, let me take a quick look and see. I think, oops, not that one. I'm also using Prism Launcher. I used to use Multi-MC, and I just got tired of updating mods manually, so I just went in and picked that one instead. But I mean, it's the same by the time we're all said and done. What is the file of that one called? Mods. Weirdly enough, it's light overlay. Yep. To provide users with an NEI-like light overlay. So if I go into the mods button, light, it's actually light overlay client. It's not telling you what the file name is, but it actually is light_overlay. I want to go look at the file name. So, great. You're going to find that a lot of them will have their sort of display name being different inside. I know I used Mini-HUD for light overlays for a while, and then I discovered that Mini-HUD does so many other things that I just wasn't using. And I'd had experience with light overlay in the past, knowing it could do the same thing. So since that was the only feature of Mini-HUD I was using, then I swapped
Al
it out.
Poppins just redeemed Hill Champion is fantastic _Sherlock_Fox for 250 clues.
Interesting. I didn't know it would do that. So, yeah. Okay. I learned something new about my Switch speaker. I don't mind that it does that, but I didn't expect it. Alright. Let's start building the next level because... Oops. Nope, wrong one. Because that's what I have in my inventory. Actually supposed to be birch on this level, but oak in between, and I just don't have any oak in inventory. So even the Mini-HUD, when I very first started using it, it still only had just the one that extends? No, it's the short one. Okay. I still found that it only had the X's for me initially, and I had to edit that to get the numbers. So obviously I did something a little bit screwball. But I like the numbers. It's just something I was used to in the past. It was more critical when you didn't have something basic like just 0. You know, we can do it with just 0 now. But it's more, I'm old school, I guess. The numbers are particularly... Frying pan. Ooh, the Rapunzel. The Tangled Win. Yes. Let's see if I have any pre-chop before we get into chopping things. What in the world? For sure. Okay. No. I have birch, but I do not have oak. So I guess we are briefly oak chopping. Boo. Why did I have... Oh, I know. I meant to put in a stone brick floor. But since the dirt floor is at the moment doing what I need it to do, then I'm not going to worry about it. 9 makes a great iron block. Let's get out of the way. Golems do not spawn in my house. Then we're going to have more in this one. It's always the way it goes.
Owl Poppins thought it was wise to use 49 clues on Trivial Pursuit World of Harry Potter.
Sweet. Well, we also need to know what color you would like. Blue. Okay. Blue it is. So the blue category is the Hogwarts category. So the question for us today, and just so you guys are aware, see, I have cards, right? The question for us today is, who creates the Slug Club? So who creates the Slug Club? That's open to anybody to answer. And if any of you that remember the character names, then that's a big giveaway. I actually kind of like the name of that particular character, just because he is a bit of a smarmy car salesman variety. I don't know if I'd actually buy a car from him or a used broom. Awful. Nor used furniture. That's, yeah. Because you never know what might pop out of it. I bet you Fantastic Sherlock Fox knows this one, but either he's being polite and not answering, or he's in a meeting. He also said he was listening to some sort of business conference over remote session today, so he could actually be distracted with that too. Got some. That in there. Chop this one. So, the question was, who creates the Slug Club? Anybody? Do you know, Mr. Owl? Anybody can answer, but if you want first crack at it, it's all yours. Yes, if you know, go for it. You know, go for it. Looks like there's no other takers. If anyone needs another clue, free clue, just say so. Oh, the Fantastic Sherlock Fox probably knows the question. I'm giving Mr. Owl first chance to answer. But the question was, who creates the Slug Club? I had a suspicion that might be the case. Yeah. On the other hand, there's absolutely zero royalties involved in this one. I got it as a gift. And whether one agrees with the author or not, this particular piece of IP I think is kind of safe. Logo. Lugubrious Sluggo. Not quite. You're right, though, it's a professor, of course. It's definitely a professor. But yeah, he was definitely quite the slug. And annoying, too. I was kind of disappointed, actually, that they had that particular character teaching potions. I mean, I understand why they had him doing it for the story purposes, but we have Professor Snape in the very first book. Did I do this one wrong? Nope. In the very first book, commenting to Harry about Bezoar, which is basically the stone out of a goat's belly. And yet when this particular individual has one actually used as a way of saving Ron, unfortunately he seems a little too surprised by it. Almost like he'd never heard of it before. And I mean, one could argue he was surprised the youth would know it, but I mean, if it's something that could be taught in first year, by the time they meet this guy, you should know that business. Okay, I will be up front. Yes, it's... Right. Darwy has tripped over, and I agree. I shouldn't say I agree. I see where you're coming from. Darwy has tripped over one of the failings and one of the sore spots, but why I don't use the safe space tags. I try to be friendly, opening, and welcoming to everybody in here. The catch, unfortunately, is that I fell in love with Harry Potter before Rowling said the nasty things she said. Well before she said the nasty things she said. In the same sort of vein, I fell in love with Sherlock Holmes as the stories well before I had found out. So I mean, no excuse on that front. Well before I had found out about the existence of Arthur Conan Doyle being a spiritualist, because I think that's a load of hogwash. So yeah, I'm being quite the hypocrite on that one, and I recognize that. I'm going to join the distasteful camp of those that have decided that we love the IP regardless of what the author has said. However, now there's another flag on this one though. However, I do recognize that to some extent it's also a bit of one of those pieces of its time, which doesn't make it okay. But by being a piece of its time, we also get a fair amount of material in that book, or in those books, where it could also be said to be offensive material in the books, in the way certain characters are portrayed. So I'm well aware that that's hypocritical on my part as well. But unfortunately, Harry Potter's one that is going to be sticking around. My apologies to anybody who doesn't agree with that. And if that's something that doesn't work for you, you know, I will miss you, right? But that's the stance I'm going to take. Yeah. So not meant to be defensive or anything like that. And pink shirt and all that jazz. Yesterday, I still stand by that. Nobody should be outright bullied. On the other hand, nobody should be outright afraid for themselves either. So, words can hurt. Definitely words can hurt. They can be counterproductive, and sometimes they can be longer lasting. But they're not necessarily always as injurious as a physical action. So, yeah. That's going to be a contentious point that unfortunately this channel will probably be grappling with for some time to come. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so anyways, meant as a later point, the answer to that question about who creates the Slug Club was Professor Horace Slughorn. They didn't actually even have the first name, so I blew that one. Anyway, awkward. It's funny because actually since a lot of the most recent heated versions of debate on the merits of Hogwarts Legacy game or not, since a lot of that had come up, I actually had not had anybody redeem one of those questions. So it had just never really occurred to me. Yeah, I recognize that people could be offended by that. Okay, so now that I've, gone and burnt bridges, let's get back to this one. And this house is going to be shorter just by nature of the fact that it's got less roof. Less roof. And this one might just be a storage building anyway. We're getting itchy. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Actually, which gives me the opportunities abound, to pull a freebie set of my competition to, well, not competition, the kid-safe version of Cards Against Humanity. So we've got, you guys probably can't see this on camera. Let's see if I can get my camera to actually let me. Boop. Oh, no, maybe not. Right in front of my face. Maybe. Come on. Oh, no. It doesn't really want to show. Come on, game. Okay, it's not parent approved. You kind of, sort of. Let's see if I can do this on the chatting screen. Give me one split sec. Boop. I don't have the chatting screen up very often, so... Chatting. Camera. Transition. You get to see my messy room. Lucky you guys. Okay. And let's... Filters. Messy room. Alright, messy room abounds. So, we are going to debut one from the not parent approved. I'm bored out of my mind. I want to do something that's not parent approved. So it is basically Cards Against Humanity inspired, but for ages 8 and up. It says on the back that they're a card game for mischief makers ages 8 and up. Fill in the funniest blank. So yeah, we're not going to worry about getting inappropriate adult things unless you consider basic, disgusting youth toilet humor to be inappropriate. In which case, I'm sorry, I can't help you there. But my brother sent this to us, and my kids quite love it, actually. We don't play it all that often, though, just because it takes a while to play. Takes a while to play, but we get one question card and then a bunch of answer cards. Very, very much Cards Against Humanity style. I'm just going to pull one of the question cards at random. Oh, okay. And then just reach in and pull one of the answer cards. And the blue is our blank, and the red is our answer. Right, blue? Okay. So blue says, blank is my favorite emoji. What goes with that is, the red card says, a whole lot of nothing. So we've got a whole lot of nothing is my favorite emoji. There you go. So they're safer. And they don't have to worry about IP. What's actually funny, last comment I'm going to make for today, because we're just about out of the hour, and I'm going to probably offend a few more people before we raid out. My logic on that is I actually looked into the math of percentages, and the amount that the makers of the Hogwarts Legacy game paid, like not sheer dollars, but the amount of the contract for the IP to Rowling, to be able to use that in a game, results in her getting less than 2% of the net sales of the game. So let me repeat that. Less than 2% of the net sales of the game. Yes, she will get a cut because it was her IP. But on the other hand, the vast majority of it goes to the people who made the game. And they have, as I understand it, have made a statement saying that they as a company are attempting to be supportive of those people, aside from, as you say, aside from the content of their game. Fair. Not fair, but as in, okay, well, we'll go with it. Oops, that's not that quarter. And so, really, we're at the point where she's not going to notice the sales of this game. We're not going to stop her by playing and or not playing the game. So the amount of enjoyment that I get out of mucking around, pretending I'm not in my average everyday world, off of an IP that is virtually a junior retelling of Star Wars, is probably not going to really fuss too many people all that much. So, anyhow, as I said, if people are not happy with my stance on that, this may not be the home for them. And I regret that, but it's not something that I'm going to be changing anytime soon. It's my escapist material. So, yeah. Wow. What a day. We've hit the top of the hour. I'm just trying to see, am I in a good spot on this to stop? Probably. And then we start going up the outside with the oak stairs. And I will probably get at least this building put in, and I don't know if I'll have a little bit more by the time we see each other again. If all goes well, and I don't, like, break myself or something on the weekend during skiing, then we will be back on Tuesday. I'm just trying to shut down. There's the references. There we go. Try it one more time. I'll be back again on Tuesday. Right? We see that in stream. And that's mountain time. So 2 hours later is what you get Eastern. So it'll be probably noon Eastern. And I may go long. A lot of it is the start time is the critical part. The ballpark is 2 hours. And then if we have the opportunity to go longer, we will. The end time is not always consistent. But that said, wow. We've got a building. It is done. It is done. I'm not mucking with it anymore. If I find trapdoors for the roof, great. I'll probably finish off the opposite end of the roof so it matches this one, but that's it. So, on that note, let's find somebody interesting to raid. Oops, well, that's not going to help. As soon as I did that, my, hey, here's your live people button just bit the biscuit. This. And Twitch, help me, please. Following. Hi. Who is currently live that I enjoy watching? And it's Thursday. Wow. Not a whole lot, actually. So, I think... Okay, I've got a few options for you guys. Do you want to see... We've got Zloy, we've got Slack Lizard, or we've got Bruno. Those are probably the best. Now, all three of those are playing most likely on... Actually, Slack is playing on Slackville. And I don't know where Zloy is playing from. Or from where Bruno. So I actually don't know which ones. They're all people I've met via Truly Bedrock, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're playing there. But does anybody have a preference on where they go to? I'm willing to say that. Because, yeah, if there's any preference, let's just switch over screens. Doo-doo-doo. we've got the credits going, and if anyone has a preference on which one they see, please do let me know. So we've got, I was thinking Zloy, Slack Lizard, or Bruno would probably be my best bet. Bruno or Zloy personally? Okay. You know, I don't think we've rated Zloy in like a Coon's Age, but he's been going for 4 hours. So I think because of that, I think we'll probably switch over to Bruno instead. He's likely to go a little bit longer. Other one here. Who's this? Bruno or Zloy? You know, I got myself in enough trouble. Let's just head on over to Bruno. Very different style, but we know he's family friendly. We know he's a positive attitude, and we're going to head over there and hope for the best. So let's go this way, and Bruno, it is. So thank you very much to Max Money for the raid, as well as to our viewers today: Firepower, Hopozim, Stormiel, Darwy, Vanavan, L. Poppins, and I think that's about it. If I didn't mention your name, I appreciate the visit, and I appreciate that you stayed for a little while and that you were willing to spend your time. And we will see you again on Tuesday. Now, let's see. We've got that raid started. Let's see if I can get you a raid message. Should you wish, feel free to copy-paste the one that applies to you. The top is for subs, the bottom is general usage, or you can use whatever emotes you prefer. And I wish you the best for your weekend. As I said, I'll be back on Tuesday. And I think everybody who wants to go is pretty much wrapped up. So we're going to head ourselves out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye for now.